We're backstage at Lollapalooza. I'm Marty Leonards, and we're with a gentleman who has released one of our favorite records this year. What's the title of that record?
Tell them what your name is.
And what is that?
What the record
name.
or the name?
Yeah, your name.
My name is Black Joe Lewis.
It's Black Joe Lewis here live on XR2. And the
Yeah.
Honey Bears. Hey, I heard that you guys were touring with the New York Dolls, and David Johansen kept calling them the Gummy Bears.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. They're pretty cool guys.
Yeah, that must have been a trip, huh?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. That was cause like so many of the bands, like the bigger they are, like you go on tour opening up for them, like the meaner they are.
Yeah.
You know, they're just kind of rude, and they're not very nice, and they were like the coolest band we ever went out with. You know.
Yeah.
So just like hanging out with them was fun. You know, like going out or whatever. You know, sometimes we went out in Northampton, Massachusetts. Had a good time there. Made friends with them and stuff. So.
What do you think it would have been like hanging out with the New York Dolls, say if you toured with them in 1974?
Dangerous. I don't know, man. I don't think I could hang with them back then. You know.
Wow, what survivors they are.
I hope. Yeah, man. I hope I'm still playing music at their age. You know.
Yeah.
So it's
well, it's been quite a year for you. This is your second time at Lollapalooza now. You played here last year also.
Yeah. We played last year. It was a little bit warmer. And
yes, it was.
It was raining this year, man. It was last year we played a smaller stage, so this year it was a bigger stage. And it was pretty fun set, you know.
I was standing behind someone before who was wearing a T-shirt from 2008 Lollapalooza, and I saw your name, and your name in the list of artists was way down on the bottom. But now this year it's like moved up. You've moved up like five or six lines.
Yeah, I need to go check that out. That's cool.
Well, we saw you just seems like a few weeks ago, because it probably was just a few weeks ago when you played here in Chicago at the Old Town School Folk and Roots Festival.
That was a lot of fun too, man. Good people, you know. Just a great crowd, you know.
Yeah.
That was one of my funner shows.
Well, it's nice. You know, your last two times in Chicago, you're playing in city parks, which is a cool thing.
Yeah, like in the summertime.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that in the winter.
That would not be good.
No, I've never been in the winter up here.
I don't think you want to come up here in the wintertime.
Yeah.
But you're from Austin, Texas.
Yes. Yeah.
And now, as the story goes, you were working in a pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us that story.
So I worked at this pawn shop in Cedar Park, Texas, and it was just me and like this one other guy, and he looked exactly like the Simpsons. You know, you ever watch Simpsons?
Yeah.
The comic book store owner, the red hair and the ponytail and the butt crack. Like that was my boss. like the dude saw my boss and made him up to be in the Simpsons. I swear. And except like he was like a gun nerd instead of a comic book nerd. Like, just anyway. So we'd sit there and argue about all like politics and all that. You know, did not like each other, and so I would just get bored and when it was slow, and I'd go play with the guitars, and then I was like, man, I'll just buy one and try to learn it, and then so I just bought this. I think it was a Washburn acoustic guitar.
Now, you had never played guitar before.
No.
So you just picked up a guitar in the pawn shop and started messing around with it.
Yeah, like really didn't, just kind of like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, I'll get one of these, and I'd like to try to learn how to play it, and then, so I just learned from there, man,
So that's your intro to music. So you go from being a pawn shop guitarist, where'd you start singing the way you do, man? Because you just, you really bring those soul sounds, such a raw vocal that you have.
Man, I used to, when I first started, it just took a while of just like doing it to figure out what was right,
Mm-hmm.
Just like practice. I think anybody can do anything with practice, so it just kind of, at first, I'd sing kind of quiet, and then I just started screaming one day, and then I was just kind of just screaming, and then I slowly learned how to make it into like a singing voice, kind of,
Yeah.
So
did you listen to a lot of old records to come up with your style, or just sort of come up organically?
Yeah, I just kind of like, I play like the people that I like, that I listen to, I don't know if it's general for everybody, but you know, you play the music that you like to listen to, kind of. You know? So, yeah, man, I used to listen to, like, I still do. I listen to, like, Lightning Hopkins and Elmore James, James Brown. You ever heard of Bunker Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some good stuff right there.
Now, you also were sort of influenced by a Chicagoan, great guitarist and bluesman, Hound Dog Taylor.
Oh, Hound Dog Taylor, yeah, big time. You know, I like the Junior Wells and Buddy Guy together stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff was really good. You know, and then you had, like, Howlin' Wolf and all of them came up here. You know, they were all from Mississippi or Alabama or whatever.
Yeah.
So
how'd you hook up with the Honey Bears? This is such an awesome band.
I met Zach. He kind of came over, like, he came to my job and was like, "Do you want to open up for Little Richard?" You know, and then he interviewed me for. He was on this committee at UT, and they throw this concert every year, and he was like, "Yeah, so you like gave like interview me," and then like later on he was like, "You want to open up for Little Richard?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, of course." And so I had my band that was like a group of my friends. My trumpet player now was the bass player in that band, because my former band had, like, we kind of broke up or I quit or whatever, and so we just put a band of my friends together for this one show, and it was cool, man. It was a really short set. Like, a lot of the bands didn't want to get off the stage and stuff. It was a lot of that. It was interesting. And, so yeah, we did that, and then Little Richard played, and it was pretty cool. You know, it was just, huh?
Did you get to meet him?
No, he wasn't in a good mood, man.
Little Richard wasn't in a good mood?
No, man, he was like, well, he was like in a wheelchair at first, and then they got him up, and he walked out on the stage, and then there was something wrong with the piano, and then he didn't like this chair he was on, and then he started complaining about that. And then he started going off about Pat Boone, and then he made everybody put their cameras up, and then like after all that, this one lady, and there's like over 1,000 people, pulled out her camera, man, and he caught her, man. He stopped in the middle of the song and was like, "Honey, put your camera up. Why do you want to make money off of me?" It's like, everybody wants to make money off of me, and like starts going off, and then like, yeah, man, I just like he like caught one person in that crowd.
Wow.
Like, he was serious about the cameras. And then, it was cool to see him. You know.
So then after that show, you started playing with these musicians more often, and then you started playing around a lot in Austin.
Yeah. Well, I had a band for like 2-3 years before that came around, and it was Black Joe Lewis and the Cool Breeze, and I just had like one saxophone player, and then he would play that in harmonica, and. We did that for a long time. That's how I've kind of like got, because I just started playing, man, until I was like a little bit older. So
yeah,
I kind of just like started getting to shows and getting better. And then I love the club owners back home for letting me come back, after like sucking it up the way, it wasn't always great or good or whatever. So they let me come around, let me keep coming, and I just learn more. And I'd have I had a Sunday night weekly gig at the Hole in the Wall for like 2 years, and I just did that over and over, and I think that's what allowed me to like start another band and then just be able to get better, just have like practice, man.
So then you played with Spoon, and Jim Eno liked you guys, and he produced your record. Jim Eno, the drummer from Spoon. Yeah,
that was we went on tour with them, and got to know him pretty well, and he lives in Austin. He's got a real nice studio. And I don't know how it came up, but I guess he just liked us and wanted to work with us. So we, whenever we kind of went in and did the record before we were signed, and so we had something already done. We were trying to get signed or whatever,
Yeah. So
yeah, we did that. It was fun working with him. He's real patient. We did like most of the record was done live, so
yeah. Well, like I was saying before, we saw you play at the Folk and Roots Festival, and today you were playing across the field outside. We got to get you here to Chicago to play a club, a smoky. Well, you can't play a smoky club anymore. We can pretend it's smoky.
Yeah.
But it'd be really cool to see you in a small place where you can really rock it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we. Every time we come to Chicago, we're opening up for somebody or to this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. We played at Congress Theater one time, that was pretty cool. Cool looking building. And
yeah.
We still haven't done
That's
any
a funky
like bar
old theater,
gigs
man.
here,
That makes you feel like you're back about 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy the way it sounds too. You know,
Yeah.
just the big echo.
Yeah.
It's
Well, thanks a lot for stopping by.
Cool.
Where you guys go from here? What are you doing?
We're flying to San Jose in the morning to play another festival.
You're in San Jose tomorrow?
Yeah, we got 2 shows tomorrow.
Wow, cross country.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks a lot for taking a few minutes and stopping by and chatting with us. And all the best of luck. We really love playing your record on XRT.
Cool.
And we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, man.
Black Joe Lewis live backstage at Lollapalooza.
Yeah.